ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਅਤੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਗੁਰਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੇਰਗਿੱਲ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਫਰੈਜ਼ਨੋ ਦੀ ਕਲੀਨ ਅਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਫਰੈਜ਼ਨੋ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਕਲੀਨ ਰੱਖਣ ਲਈ, ਤਾਂ ਜੌਬ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ। ਸੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਐਫਰਟਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿੰਡ, ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਫਰੈਜ਼ਨੋ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਨਿਊਸਮ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਫਰੈਜ਼ਨੋ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ। ਤਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਤਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ for the support. Like and subscribe to Beautify Fresno YouTube channel.
And we're putting them to work, and so I'm really grateful for all the work all of you are doing out here in Fresno. I'm really proud to be back here. Been here a lot in the last many months. Hell, I'll put up how many times I've been here the last few years up against many governors over the last few decades. I care deeply about the Central Valley. I care deeply about Fresno. I care deeply about this community. A lot of challenges out here with droughts, wildfires, stress, the impacts in the ag community. But there's another remarkable narrative in Fresno that's emerging. It's not just emerging. It's very present when you're here. This entrepreneurial energy, this vibrancy, this youthfulness, not a time of life, but as Bobby Kennedy said, a state of mind. That entrepreneurial spirit is really alive in Fresno. I want to bring that to the fore of the conversation all across the state of California. And so I want you to know when you're not hearing what I'm saying, you're not seeing me, that's what I'm telling folks out there on the coast. That's what I'm telling folks in Sacramento. And that's why we're committed to your rail systems out here, the infrastructure investments that we'll be making this year, and efforts like this. We're mindful that you don't just deserve your fair share. We have a unique obligation to do more and do better out here in the Central Valley, which means often a disproportionate share because of communities that have been left behind in the past. So thank you all for being out here, and thank you for the Vice Mayor. Mark, thank you guys for the power of example. Thank you for the power of emulation. Success leaves clues, and we're seeing remarkable things happen. If you don't like the world standing up, stand on your head, go local, because remarkable things are happening at the local level. And that sense of community, sense of spirit and pride, things you can't legislate in Washington, D.C., you can't legislate them at the halls of the Capitol, but you find them every single day in neighborhoods large and small all throughout our state. And I think time has come for all of us to sort of put aside a little bit of the swords and a little bit of the vitriol, the edges, the differences, and start focusing on the things that bind us together. And I think these kinds of efforts bring us together. Talk about shared experiences. We're so desperate for shared experience. We've lost that as a nation. And as a consequence, we end up in our silos, and we have that reinforcement loop, that filter bubble that just reinforces those biases. And yet we feel like we're further and further apart. We're not coming together. And so the spirit of this effort is a spirit really of unification, trying to take a state 40 million strong, the largest state in the union, the fifth largest economy on planet Earth, a state that's not coming back, but it's roaring back with an $80 billion surplus, $80 billion operating surplus, largest in U.S. history, and putting those dollars back to work by putting them back in the community and replicating the successful models like we're seeing here in Fresno. I want to thank Mayor Dyer and his team for establishing an office and organizing an effort to beautify and to revitalize. It's not just about cleaning up litter. It's not just about addressing encampments. It's also about leaving something behind, beautifying the landscape, and looking at our art components, which I really appreciate, this notion of murals and getting those artistic expressions, sense of place and community culture that we can attach to some of these efforts. And that's exactly what this initiative that we formally launched today on a day of action started in Richmond. I'll be down in Southern California after this, here in the Central Valley. $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion. An initiative that just trumps anything we've done in the past. Let me put it in perspective. The most money the state has ever spent on litter abatement, ever, is $110 million. We're putting $1.1 billion into this effort. $300 million of local grant matches, meaning we're going to leverage local dollars. We're going to incentivize more programs like this. We want our dollars to stretch. It's not just about hiring state employees. It's about working with community-based organizations, getting volunteers activated, but it's also about giving people second, third, fourth chances, however it takes to get people back on track. And that's why we're really pleased. Another component of this is 11,000 jobs. 11,000 jobs will create through this program. And those are opportunities not just to create jobs, but we also open opportunities to create career pathways, because there are great careers And one of those great careers is working for Caltrans, with all the commensurate benefits, retirement, as well as ongoing benefits to allow you to raise your family. And so we're hopeful that this is a pathway for 11,000 people into those opportunities as well. 400 people have already been hired, at least job offers out to date, and we just got started a couple days ago. So this is a flywheel over the course of the next number of months, a commitment over the next few years to launch something that will have meaning and purpose, and yes, clean up the damn streets in California. I see the exact same thing you see. I see the encampments, I see couches and mattresses, I see graffiti, I see things that no one should see out here, and parklets and entrances and exits to freeway underpasses, overpasses, downtown corridors. We got to clean this place up. It's sort of a basic function of government. And so we want to bring that back. A little bit of discipline, a little bit of pragmatism, but we have now the resources we've never had in our history, and we're putting them to work. And so I'm really grateful for all the work all of you are doing out here in Fresno. Deeply about the Central Valley, I care deeply about Fresno.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Fresno. Our mayor set forth a vision of an inclusive, prosperous, beautiful, and safe city where people take pride in their neighborhoods and community. And frankly, there's no way to realize that vision without naturally launching two priorities, one that's focused on housing the homeless, and the second, which is focused on beautifying Fresno. Since January, in partnership with the governor's office, we've been fortunate enough to actually partner with local community organizations to house over 300 of our homeless neighbors and provide wraparound services right here in the city of Fresno. And we're excited about that. We could not do it without the governor's office and support. Secondly, with our Beautify Fresno efforts, since January 4, we have partnered with Caltrans, who's standing here beside and behind and all around us, and their great team, along with over 4,400 residents right here from the city of Fresno, to clean up 45,000 pounds of trash. Additionally, we've worked to abate 12,000 instances of graffiti, all within 24 hours of reporting. Frankly, we hope to be a shining light, not just for our Fresno residents, but for the entire valley. And, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery. Well, I like to think that maybe we've influenced just a little bit of our governor's approach at cleaning up California through our Beautify Fresno efforts. We couldn't do it without you, Governor. We appreciate you. We appreciate your entire team. We thank the city of Fresno, Caltrans, our council, and all of our residents. We hope to
crews, and also we have a partnership with the Butte County, who with the Back to Work program, and that's who you see out here with us. And we're really excited about Clean California because this does give us an opportunity. We're ready, able. We're going to put a lot of people back to work, and we're really excited about helping the cities. And it's great when you have partnerships like the city of Fresno. It makes our jobs a lot easier. It makes us